If you want bigger and healthier tomatoes, you need to stop what you are doing in your garden right now. Most gardeners think they are feeding their plants correctly, but they are actually slowing down the growth without even realizing it. I have spent 50 years in the soil and I see the same mistake every single summer. Plants start out strong and then suddenly they just stop growing in the middle of the season. The leaves get weak and the flowers drop and the harvest becomes a total disappointment. Today, I am going to show you a completely different way to feed your plants that actually builds the soil while producing heavy and flavorful fruit. We are moving away from those expensive store-bought chemicals and going back to what actually works for the long haul. We are going to start with a technique that sounds a little strange, but I want you to listen closely because it solves the #1 problem gardeners face in the heat of July. I call it the fast calcium shot. Have you ever seen those dark, leathery, sunken spots on the bottom of your tomatoes? That is blossom end rot, and it is a total nightmare that can destroy your entire crop in days. Most people will tell you to just throw some crushed eggshells in the dirt and call it a day. But here's the professional truth, and that is that it takes months or even years for an eggshell to break down enough for a plant to actually eat it. Your plant is starving for calcium right now and not next year. Here is my secret for an immediate fix. You take ordinary wood ash from your fireplace or fire pit. Just make sure it is only from clean, untreated wood. You combine it with common white vinegar. When you mix them, you are going to see a massive fizzing reaction. That is not just for show, because that reaction is the vinegar dissolving the calcium in the ash and making it water-soluble instantly. Take 1 cup of wood ash and slowly add about 2 cups of vinegar until the bubbling stops. Then you take that concentrated mixture and dilute it into 5 gallons of water. This is a total game changer. It provides a direct shot of available calcium and potassium that stops rot in its tracks and strengthens the cell walls. This prevents your plants from wilting the second the afternoon sun gets hot. I have seen this one trick save an entire crop in less than 48 hours, and if you are seeing those black spots on your fruit today, you should go do this immediately. Now let us talk about the very moment you put those plants in the ground, or even if they are already established. I want to challenge you to try something different this season. I am holding something in my hand right now that most people consider kitchen trash. It is dry, and it is crunchy, and most folks cannot wait to get it out of their house. Can you hear that crinkling sound? Go ahead and take a guess in the comments right now. What is the one thing from your kitchen that can prevent root rot and provide a slow, steady stream of minerals for months? If you said onion skins, you are exactly right. But the real magic is in the application. Do not just scatter them on top of the soil where the wind will blow them away. When I am prepping a spot for a new tomato or pepper plant, I dig my hole a few inches deeper than necessary. I lay down a thick carpet of these dry onion skins at the very bottom. As those skins sit in that moist, dark environment, they begin a slow fermentation process. They release sulfur, which is a natural fungicide. This keeps those nasty soil-borne diseases away from your young, tender roots while they are at their most vulnerable. Plus, as they decompose, they act like a tiny organic sponge that holds onto moisture right where the plant needs it during a drought. If you want to take it to the next level, use the skins from red onions specifically because they are packed with even more bioactive compounds that help the plant deal with environmental stress like sudden cold snaps or extreme heat. If your plants are already in the ground, do not worry because you can gently bury a handful of skins 3 inches deep around the drip line of the plant. But what about the immune system of the plant itself? Plants get stressed just like we do. High humidity or heavy rains can bring in powdery mildew and blight faster than you can blink. This is where I use my chamomile and milk shield. Think of this as a natural antibiotic for the garden. Milk contains specific proteins and whey that act as a foliar feed, but when it hits the soil, it feeds the beneficial fungi that protect the roots. Chamomile is the kicker because it contains compounds that naturally inhibit the growth of pathogenic bacteria. To mix this up, you want to take 1 cup of whole milk. Make sure it is full fat because those lipids are vital for creating a protective coating on the leaf. Mix that into 1 quart of lukewarm water. Then brew a very strong batch of chamomile tea. I am talking about using 3 or 4 tea bags for just 1 cup of water. Let it steep until it is dark and completely cool. Combine the two and you have a potent tonic. Here is a detail most people miss. and that is that you should apply this early in the morning before the sun gets high. Use a spray bottle to coat the leaves or just pour it around the base of the plant. If you do this every 10 days, you are building a biological barrier. It is much easier to prevent a problem than it is to cure one once your leaves are already turning black and curling. I want to address something that confuses a lot of people, and that is the whole nutrient balance you see on fertilizer bags. You see those 3 numbers and it feels like you need a chemistry degree to understand them, but let us break it down so it actually makes sense for your backyard. The first part is nitrogen, and that is for the green growth. If your plant is short and spindly and yellow, it is screaming for nitrogen. The second part is phosphorus, and that is for the internal plumbing and the flowers. If you have a giant green bush but no blossoms, you are low on phosphorus. The third part is potassium, and that is for the overall finish and the disease resistance and the flavor. If your tomatoes are big but they taste watery and bland, you need more potassium. When your garden hits the peak of summer, it is like an athlete running a marathon, and it is exhausted. This is when I bring in the yeast and banana booster. Most people know bananas have potassium, but the yeast is the real star here. Yeast is a living organism. When you introduce it to the soil, it starts breaking down organic matter at an accelerated rate. It basically unlocks the food that is already in your soil, but is currently stuck in a form the plant cannot eat. Take 2 banana skins and dice them up as small as you can. The smaller the pieces, the more surface area for the yeast to work on. Put those in a half-gallon jar of warm water and add 1 tablespoon of dry baker's yeast. Give it a stir and let it sit in a shaded spot for 24 hours. You will see it start to foam and bubble a little bit, and that is the sound of nutrients being released. After a day, strain out the solids, and you have a super concentrated liquid gold. Dilute this with about 2 gallons of fresh water. I like to use this once a week, starting right when the first tiny green tomatoes appear. It gives the plant that second wind it needs to keep producing all the way until the first frost. The biggest mistake I see is people waiting until their plants look half dead before they start feeding them. You have to be proactive. Watch your plants every day. Look at the tips of the leaves. If they are curling upward, they might be thirsty or heat stressed. If they are curling downward and looking heavy, they might be overwatered. Gardening is a conversation between you and the earth, and you have to learn the language. I have been sharing these tips for a long time because I truly believe that anyone can grow a world-class garden if they just stop overcomplicating things. You do not need a massive budget, and you do not need a shed full of chemicals that are harmful to the bees and the butterflies. You just need a little bit of patience and a few things from your kitchen pantry and a willingness to work with nature instead of against it. If this video helped you understand your garden a little bit better today, please hit that like button for me. It really helps me reach more people who are struggling with their crops and looking for natural solutions. And if you want to see exactly how I prune my indeterminate tomatoes to keep them producing for 5 months straight, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications. I have some incredible experiments coming up this season that you do not want to miss. Do you have a favorite natural fertilizer that I did not mention today? Maybe something your grandfather or grandmother used to do back in the day. Drop it in the comments below because I learn something new from you guys every single day, and I love building this community of growers. Also, feel free to share this video with your gardening groups or friends who might be struggling with their harvest this year. Let us help everyone grow the best and cleanest food possible. Thanks for watching, and stay dirty, and I will see you out in the garden.